topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Hi, I'm Shelby Wagner, host of Learning to Dance in the Rain, where we have conversations about overcoming problems, introducing trending issues and subjects to help you to manage your life, manage your issues, and move on to a happier life, hopefully. I teach resistance, suggest resistance. No, sorry. Resilience is the word I'm looking for. Dealing with your problems in a positive way instead of in a negative way. I found a long time ago that the more you worry about something, the worse it gets, and the more negative you get and down, and you even can make yourself ill by worrying so much for different, over certain problems. And yeah, there are problems that we have to really deal with carefully, but we can find a way. I use prayer a lot. I don't know what you use, but you need something that can help you to figure out a way to solve whatever problem is troubling you. Today, I want to talk about several things, actually. I'm calling the day, the subject, Finding Love Again, because my latest book is one of my latest books is Finding Love Again. And it is on Amazon. It's not perfect yet up there. So if you happen to order it too soon and you get one that doesn't have the title or the not the title page, but the table of contents, then please let me know. Shelby Wagner, author, @gmail.com, and I will get you the finished copy or a better copy. Finding Love Again. A senior's guide to online dating. My husband died in 2016, just 2 weeks before our 50th wedding anniversary. And I wrote that story in my first book, Learning to Dance in the Rain, because learning to dance is one of the things that I have done to help me be resilient, to help me move on and live a good life, even though I am single. But along the way, I wanted to find love again. I wondered if I could find love again. At 75, 76, I thought, ooh, boy, that's going to be pretty hard, I think. But my son had met his wife on one of the dating sites, and so I thought I would try it. And now I wrote in my first book, Learning to Dance in the Rain. Actually, this is kind of 4 books in one. The first one is my story of the last few days that my husband was alive, and it talks about grieving. And my next book is about healing hearts. It's not finished yet, but that's about grieving also. But the first part then is kind of autobiography. I had lost a lot of confidence once I had been married for 50 years. I kind of forgot what it was like to be single again. And so I had to do some learning. And so my second part of the book was trying to help me get back my self-confidence. And I found that to be very helpful. A lot of different things that are in there. And then when I decided to check out the dating sites, that's part 3 in this book. And there are several chapters about that. Dating is different, how it's different today than it was 50 years ago, and so on. But, and I talk about the dating websites and give you a little bit of information about how to write a profile, how to create your account, um, how to what pictures to post, and that kind of thing. So this book, Finding Love Again, is just under 100 pages, and I thought I needed to go into more depth, and so that's what my new this third book is about: Finding Love Again, a senior's guide to internet dating. It was I first published it back in February, I believe it was. But anyway, some of the chapters I wanted to uh, talk about in the table of contents. The epigraph I wanted to use was rather a song that I really liked, a country song. Um, Actually, no, excuse me, that one goes into the next one. This one was everyone needs to be needed, wants to be wanted, and loves to be loved. You are human and you need to be loved just like everyone else in the world. And it's unknown, the author of that, but I thought that was quite appropriate for my book. And so then I do an introduction and I talk about my husband's death and how I got involved with online dating and a little bit about my experiences there. The main thing is I wanted to help you possibly find a new love if that's something that you think you might like to do. Many people are scared to try internet dating, and I don't blame them. They're afraid of getting scammed. And I got scammed. I really did. And my second book was called Scams, and it had 150 detailed ways that people, bad actors, attempt to get your money. And I've got some new scams that I just found out about this morning, and I want to share those with you in a little bit. But
There's nothing scheduled for 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. today.
I want to talk to you about this book this book and my next book my fourth book. So, what do you want to know about online dating? Well, maybe one of the things you'd like to know is, does it work? And fortunately, there's a bunch of statistics out there that says it does. And I personally, I have found a couple different people that, different men that I have met that through the online dating. And one of them I'm in a relationship with. It didn't happen right away. A lot of people will have fixed ideas about the person that they want to meet and marry or have a relationship with. But, one of the things I suggest you do is to make a list of the qualities of the person that you would like to have as a partner. But I want to caution you right away and tell you that we tend to want perfection in our lists, and there is no perfect person. There's no perfect man. Although he may say he is, I hope he's joking. At least the men that have said it to me were joking, and we both realize that. Um, there's no perfect woman either. I suppose you might think that you're perfect, but you're not. Sorry. But so you can have your expectations and write down your list of what it is that you want in a partner. But I want you to realize that you will probably make changes along the way. Not only will you make changes, but that's okay. You may think you have found the perfect guy or the perfect woman, and you may have the perfect one for you. But there are stumbling blocks along the way, and I just want you to be aware of them. And so, my chapter 1 is understanding the dating landscape. And I put a quote at the beginning of each of my chapters. And the quote from this one came from Alexander Graham Bell. I hope that you recognize that name. Younger people might not, but he's the one that invented the telephone and many other things that we can't live without today. But what did he write many years ago? Before anything else, preparation is the key to success. And so I help you prepare. If you read my book, I guarantee you'll be ahead of those who have not read it as far as being successful in finding um, love again. the one of the problems that I found, uh, well, why? Let's just talk. Yeah, go ahead and put those up there. That's fine. We're on number 3 here, finding love again. Online dating offers an easy and unique opportunity to connect with others who share similar interests and values and life experiences. Whether you are looking for love, for a partner for the rest of your life, or perhaps you are looking just for companionship, someone to share your time with. But the online dating offers a world of possibilities. One reason it's a good thing for seniors is that we don't have to dress up and go out to meet these people or to get acquainted with them. Eventually, yes, once you get to find the ones that you really think might work, yeah, you will want to meet with them, and we'll talk a little bit later. But the computer allows you to scroll through pictures of fellas or women, and oh, you see someone with looks pretty good, and so then the next step is to send them a message. Um, I found through the years that probably the best way to approach someone is to just say, "Hi, would you like to chat?" And then that opens up or gives them a little more courage to, oh, okay, so sure, yeah, I would like to chat. Um, so you can sit in your living room and chat with somebody online and talk about what your interests are, get acquainted, but don't be careful. Be careful that you don't give personal information. Like with women, I suggest you don't give your last name until you um, have chatted for a while and you uh, have, what is it called, investigated maybe online those pictures to see if this is really the person you're talking to. Um, or I give clues later on about how to kind of check and make sure that they are being consistent with their talking. But anyway, taking the first step is the hardest, and It was easy to write that in the chat uh, of the website and say, "Hi, would you like to chat?" I'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later on. The first step is the hardest. That's right, and that makes it a little bit easier. But I'm going to say that the next first step to this project is having the right mindset. Why would I put that in my book? Why would I suggest the right mindset? Well, because there are times, and one of the chapters is about um, handling rejection. And yeah, you think of this as a positive experience, and most of the time it is. But what happens when you say you write a message to someone and they don't respond? Well, that's kind of a rejection, isn't it? But you can't let those that bother you. And you might want to go a little further and maybe make some clever remark to get them to respond back, and they still don't respond. Well, that's okay too. That just means those people were not the ones that were right for you. And they saved you some time, so forget about them. Go on, move on to another somebody else. Um, a positive mindset is necessary for success because uh, if you don't have a positive mindset, you're going to give up too easily. And we don't want you to do that. I I was 6 years on and off the dating sites, um, and I had a lot of fun, and I had a lot of non-fun when I got scammed, and that's what got me kind of into this podcast to talk about scams. But I still think for a lot of people that a dating site is the best way to meet people, the best way to find somebody. Like one well, like with me, I moved from Tennessee back to Michigan to be close to my family after my husband died, and so I knew family. I knew her extended family, some of them, but I didn't. And I went to church. I was choir director, and I was available to meet other people, singles and married, and it was just I don't know. It was very hard for me to personally talk to somebody, a stranger. Um, when you get online, there's a certain anonymity, and so I don't know. It was easier to talk to people that way. But of course, the scammers. Oh my gosh! Oh, you're so beautiful. I just love it. And you write so beautifully, and I just love the way that you the things that you say, and they're very very complimentary. And but we'll discuss that further in a minute. So there are several myths that people have, and one of my chapters addresses that issue. Despite the many benefits of online dating, there are some misconceptions, and one of them is that online dating is strictly for the younger people. And it says, yeah, the younger people have embraced this way of talking with people and meeting people. And But it's also been determined that many people over 50 and, as you can see, over 70 have met their significant others or their new married partner by going online dating. Also, myth number 2 I talk about in my book is online dating websites are too complicated. Well, I've met a lot of people a lot of seniors that say, I don't even want to know how to turn a computer on. I don't have one. I'm not going to buy one. And so it's not for me. Well, okay, that's fine if that's how you feel. But if you really do want to learn, then why not talk to somebody that is knows how to do the computer? Probably your son or your daughter can help you, or your grandson and daughter could help you with this. And I do give some information about how to do that in my book. The third myth is that online dating is not safe, and it's only as safe as you make it. And I give tips for how to check things out and make sure that the person you're talking to is real, because there are a lot of frauds out there. Myth 4 is that online dating is just for casual hookups or one night stands. And there are many reasons why people use online dating websites. And some are looking for casual encounters, one night stands, but there's others that only want somebody to talk to when they can't fall asleep at night. I met one man, I have established a really nice relationship. When you're right, one night stands are very dangerous. So don't do them. Right. But there are people that are looking for long-term relationships on there. And your job is to, what shall we say? What is it called? Vest them, check them out, and make sure, it takes time really to check these people, do background checks. I did that on most of my people. But what happens when you check somebody, or you put a name in the data, in the background check, and that person that doesn't come up? I had a lot of them too, and I can tell you from experience that if they're not on the background check, then they are 98% not real. So don't go there. Okay, so that's 5 main myths that I talk about, because they're important. Okay, overcoming emotional barriers was chapter 2. The most difficult thing is the decision to act, and the rest is tenacity. That's Amelia Earhart, a quote from there, and I thought that was really cute. Well, so we don't look as good as we did 50 years ago. So what? Maybe we look better. And maybe we spend too much time worrying about how we look. We had a man vet them. That's the word I was looking for. Yes. How do you vet them? Well, let's see. That's one of my chapters. A little bit later. The background check is a very good way to start. The ones that are really who they say they are is going to be there, and that's good. No one should jump in too quick. Take the time to build a solid foundation. Yes, very good. Take the time. Take the time. I was reading a book which I referred to quite a bit in my first book, Learning to Dance in the Rain, that you should meet the person within a few days or a couple of weeks. And that helps a lot if you're in a big city. It didn't help me much out in the country. But I did try to meet some. I suggested, let's meet for coffee or something. And if they don't want to meet, or if they break a date, you set a date and something else comes up. Well, that is a good sign that they are a fraud, because a fraud's not going to meet you. A scammer is not going to meet you. And you might be talking to someone for a year, 2 years, and they keep refusing, something keeps coming up. Well, then forget it. Forget about them. It's hard to find the time, most of the time. Oh boy. When you have kids, especially, or you have a life, it is very difficult to find the time, but to talk to them and to find them online at the same time that you're online is a challenge also. But if you're really serious about finding a partner, you're going to vet them. You're going to check and see if they are on a background check list. You're going to watch um, what they say and see if it is consistent. I had one. I thought it was one man talking with me, but there was something strange about the different times, and so I found out that there were several people, 3 or 4. I don't know how many, but I wasn't just talking to one man. I was talking to several who pretended to be one man. So you really do have to vet them. You really do have to be careful, and you have to be careful what you say. Don't. I was. Let me see what did I do that. Uh, I'm going to suggest that you listen to Kim Commando's podcast, and that's where. Oh, here, yeah. Elder fraud is exploding. The data is making it worse. But it says, and with the AI, it says they could pretend to be family members or somebody that you know very well. Could be your bank. I see here, folks age 60 plus are the biggest target. So almost 72% of scams start with personal data grabbed online. So if you like, oh, where was it? In here somewhere, it was saying, don't brag about how much money you make. Don't brag about owning uh, a condo and 3 houses and all this other stuff. I don't know if I can even find it in an amount of time. That's in my section on scam. But I don't want to get carried away just yet with the scams. But yeah, you have to be careful what they're saying to you. If they call you, is there noise in the background? Um, one guy gave me his phone number and I called it and a woman answered, and I couldn't make sense out of it. So I asked him, oh, and he had some excuse, but it wasn't right. It didn't make sense. And so I stopped talking to him. In my chapter 3 or chapter, I give a story, two different people that had success with internet dating. And chapter 4 is my own story of how I met my partner that I'm having a relationship with now. We've been together 2.5 years. And the quote I put with that chapter is, I love you not only for what you are, but for what I am when I am with you. Don't you think that is a wonderful quote? That was Roy Croft. I love you not only for what you are or who you are, but for what I am when I am with you. That's one thing with my husband and I. And I think with any couple, are you better people because you're together? If you're not, maybe that's not the right person you should be with. There are lots of questions that you should ask yourself on that score. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Walt Disney. And that's my chapter on navigating technology with confidence and choosing the right dating platform and that kind of stuff. Let's see. The one when you're writing your profile, like in my chapter, well, my pages are getting mixed up, but be sure that, well, a couple of things. Variety is key for your pictures. Your first one should be your full face headshot because that's the one that goes on the carousel through the beginning of the dating sites, and that's the one everybody's going to see. You want to you want to be the best you can be. So, darn it, if you need a haircut, you better get a haircut. If you with me, I got new hairstyle when I started to come out of my grieving period, and some new clothes, and that was very important for me. All right, and emphasize authenticity. One of the men that I became really good friends with, he said the first woman that he had agreed to meet for lunch uh, did not represent herself correctly. And by that I meant she had used a thin picture, a picture of her younger when she was thin, or at least average weight. And when he saw her, she must have weighed 250 or 300 pounds. So don't do that. Another person sent a picture of their younger sister because they thought she looked better than them. Quality relationship is what you're wanting. That's what you're seeking. Then you need to be quality. You need to be honest. And so with your pictures and with your profile, you need to tell the truth. This is who I am. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little overweight or a lot of overweight. Yep. A lot of people like to have a woman that's a overweight. And I may not look like it. And I'm not overweight really for my age. But my tummy, oh, I wish I could get rid of my tummy. And I've tried. And so, like I said, I'm not overweight. But, you have problem areas with yourself and your physical beauty. Well, get over it. Do what you can about it. And then start thinking about your experiences. Oh my gosh, in 75, 80 years, I have a lot of experiences to share. And so do you. So, the art of conversation, if you ask somebody a question online and they don't answer, well, most likely they are a fraud. Just remember that because your conversation is what? He says something, I say something. I ask questions, he answers them. He asks questions, and I answer them. Your memory gets jogged by what someone else has said, and then you jump in with, oh yeah, well, this is what I think about that, or this is what I did once. And a conversation is a two-way street. Don't monopolize it. You're not doing a podcast like I am right now, where you're the only person in the room. When you're learning to do or talking online and you're having a conversation, you know what? You got to let them talk. You've got to ask them questions and they're going to respond and tell you how they feel about that or what. If they don't, it's a red flag. Remember that one. Okay, let's see. It looks like my time is flying. I really hope that you will enjoy my book, Finding Love Again. Um, if you're looking for perfection, even in a book, it's not perfect either. But people are not perfect, and we do imperfect things. But I do think this was my favorite. This was the third one. I really am proud of the book, Learning to Dance in the Rain. But I want to move on to my last book, my fourth book, I think is really cute. And this one is 2 left feet. Dance anyway. You know what? That's an excuse. That's an excuse for not dancing. Which, if you hate dancing, well, that's fine. Just say it. I don't like to dance. Okay, why don't you like to dance? Well, maybe it doesn't matter. But the fact is that you can learn to dance if you set that as a goal and um, try and practice and whatever. You know your left foot, you know which one is your left foot, right? And which one is your right foot left, right? Oh my, but this is a fun book. Dancing, I read in statistics that said that dancing is more beneficial to your whole body than working out in a treadmill, than working out in the gym, period. And I don't like to be at a treadmill. Oh my, I just don't like to go to the gym. Um, but I like to go dancing. And so that's why I wrote, started taking um, ballroom dance lessons was a dream of mine. And when I met Rick 2.5 years ago, and I found out that he also had that dream. And it just so happened that they started giving dance lessons, Jerry Wright, in the senior center once a week. I had been taking line dancing. That was why I got this name, is learning to dance in the rain, because that's what I was doing at the time, was learning line dancing. But then I moved on to a ballroom dancing. And that's a little scary word, ballroom dancing. Oh, they don't do that anymore. Well, guess what? A easier name is pattern dancing. When I heard that instructor talk, he says ballroom dancing is pattern dancing. You learn the patterns of each dance, and then you add the variations. And so I give lots of tips in my book about dancing and where to go, and what to do about different things. And I give the patterns also for foxtrot, waltz, what's that other one, the swing. Oh my, that's my favorite. I've learned to do the swing in the 7th grade at the school dance when I watched the other kids do it. And I've done that all my life. And now I know even do it better, because I do it correctly, the pattern way. And I can dance the man's part or the women's part because I had to do, usually I was the leader when we danced when I was single and didn't have a partner. But anyway, I challenge you that this is a very healthy way to stay flexible and an even balance. I had balance issues when I first began the line dancing back after my husband died. I still have a few times, but now I'm having more of my breath, being breathless. And so, but this is very helpful. And I love to dance. And I have made more friends dancing than I have made in anything else I have ever done. I love my life right now. I love dancing, and I love my partner that I found online, having a very good experience as far as that goes. The golden years, the golden years. I found got in contact with a friend from college, in college days, and I had it written, "How are you?" And they said, "Oh well, we're trying to make the best of our ungolden years." And ungolden, yeah, I have said, yeah, the gold goes out to the doctors, and most people agree with me. Um, uh, those who are still mobile and able to get out and do things are lucky. Because my friend, she can't walk without a walker now, but she was just as happy. And we had a time talking last night, just about like we did when we were in college. You would have. It was a very very fun chit chat that we had for. We talked for about an hour after not having. Well, the last time I had talked to her was 4 years ago. In but yeah, we're getting older, and it's no fun to be um, in a wheelchair or to be unable to walk without um, um, a walker. And here I am. I've been lucky. I can dance and all this, but I did fall 3 weeks ago, and I fell on my uh, hit the floor with the side of my glasses and broke my nose. And I don't know if it's could get there or not because it was quite red and ugly for a while. But anyway, so my books are all available on Amazon. Learning to Dance in the Rain. You may see that there are two out there. Volume 2, verse 2 was the one that gained all of um, what is it, 9 awards that I had, including the Living Now Award, which encourages you to change the quality of your life and gives you tips on how to improve the quality of your life, even though you get scammed. How do you bounce back from something like that? But that's what that one, book 2, is now only available in paperback through third parties. I redid it. The book is the same, except book 3 is the same as book 2, except I corrected typos when I could. And the cover is mainly the difference. And I have put the award emblems on the back of that third edition. So I'd appreciate it if that's the book that you buy. That is available in audiobook as well as paperback and ebook, and it's available hardcover. Scams, again, can fill you in, and we could keep this, I keep this by my phone so that it reminds me to be careful when I answer the phone. And I do not answer the phone if I don't recognize the telephone number. That's the main thing on there. 2 feet, two left feet, dance anyway. It's fun. And, people are not being critical of your dancing when you're dancing at the Eagles or wherever you go. Last Saturday night, we did the swing out in the street up in Wayland. They were having a festival all day, and my son lives in Wayland, and so we went up there, and it was a hip hop band, and oh my gosh, I never saw such energy on a stage. Wow. And we enjoyed it. I would have liked to stay longer, but I was having some issues that I needed to not stay too long. But we really had a good time, and we did dance right in the middle of the street. And then Finding Love, again, a senior's guide to internet dating. I may redo this one and say Finding Love for the first time, even, or maybe writing it for people that are younger than seniors. But I think you'll get a lot of help out of the book, and be ahead of those who haven't read the book. So I guess want to thank you for listening to me go on here. I hope it hasn't been too boring. But I am an award-winning author, thanks to my first book. And a podcast host, and I suffered a few times in my life and been resilient and bounced back. And that's what I expect you to do too, is to learn to be resilient. Take care of those problems. The more you think about or more you worry about something, the more it irritates you, right? It irritates me. You know what helped me was living in Tennessee, and I would see the cows out in the meadows chewing their cud. And one day it occurred to me that they're regurgitating. And that's what we do. We regurgitate those negative thoughts, and they keep going round and round, and they don't help us like the regurgitation helps the cows, but regurgitation. But nowadays I just say, stop regurgitating, Shelby. And that helps me to move on and think about other things and maybe accomplish more things. So I want to say goodbye to you. I want you to remember that even in the Bible, it tells you it is okay to dance. It is okay to dance and to have a good time. So learning to dance in the rain, take care and be happy.